Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So if you're like me, you're paying attention to the news and you saw today that Amazon is laying off 18,000 workers. I have driven around the country in recent months and I have seen some of these I've heard stories too also of these gigantic warehouses Amazon is supposedly building. Now it's all in a question if they're going to actually build these warehouses and fill them with workers. Maybe it'll be robots instead. I don't know. But 18,000 workers because they're seeing a decline in sales. They're seeing a decline in the economy. And just this last week, 8,000 Salesforce workers were laid off at 10% of their employees. 8,000. So 8,000 here, 18,000 there. You know, these numbers eventually they start adding up. However, it's like that news came out just a few days ago and yesterday for Amazon. But today, the Biden administration releases, hey, everything's fine. We're at the greatest job numbers we've ever had. This is fantastic. Isn't everybody great? Isn't everybody wonderful? Here's the front of Drudge right now. Record number of Americans employed with a big old smiley face. Come here, let me sniff your hair. So it's like the mainstream media, and Drudge is now part of the mainstream media. Drudge has been bought out. Apparently it's leaked out that Matt Drudge, who founded Drudge Report, sold this to some liberal conglomerate or somebody with a non-disclosure agreement. He can't ever talk about it. So this has turned very, very liberal, the headlines on Drudge over the last number of years. Most of you probably have noticed that. And then down here below, you see on the left-hand side, Santelli, historically, unbelievably good jobs report. Meanwhile, Amazon just laid off 18,000 people yesterday or announced the 18,000 layoffs that will take place, probably more to come, coming up soon. And so if you click on this link here, record numbers of Americans employed, it takes you over to this, CNS News, 159,244,000 record number of Americans employed in December. This is a record number. This is the greatest news of all time. Everybody's fantastic and wonderful. And so it goes through and just basically gives the hey, everything's fine. Everything's great. No problem here. However, if you go over to zerohedge.com, they say inside the strong, quote unquote, jobs report, full-time workers, negative 1,000 full-time workers, part-time workers plus 679,000. 679,000. So it's the part-time workers. And if you are like me, you're looking, okay, part-time workers don't make a lot of money. Part-time workers are just that. They're part-time. These are not career jobs. These are not career jobs. So what does this all mean? It means that they're putting out lots of smoke and mirrors to make you think everything's fine. But if you're like me, you're going to the grocery store and you're like, you know what? Inflation is still happening. Prices are still going up. They're definitely not coming down in a lot of areas. Some places they are maybe. But like you can't find eggs now. I'm going to do a video on my chickens. Like chicken feed is like non-existent. It's like things are not getting better here. And I'm not just trying to be a doom and gloomer. It's real. It's like anybody who's normal, everyday Americans who goes out and lives like everyday normal people do can see that times are insane. All right, so a couple of months ago, I wanted to do a video on this, but I tried and I could not find the video. It was a Whataburger. Have you ever been to the restaurant Whataburger? Okay, so apparently this came out, and I have looked on the Whataburger YouTube channel. I can't find it, but it was an ad that was playing in front of YouTube videos, and it was for Whataburger employment. So if you want to go work for Whataburger, you could, it was an ad to promote, hey, come work for us. We have fantastic benefits. And it shows this woman, and it shows her full health coverage and, great pay. And she's driving a brand new truck. She's standing out in the parking lot saying, Whataburger takes care of me. And she's got this brand new, dual cab, jacked up truck, that she's driving. And it's like, this is my career, don't you know? And Whataburger will take care of you. If you want a real career, you come work for Whataburger. Does anyone not? I saw that and I just cringed, and I wanted to go find that commercial. I looked high and low on YouTube. I could not find it anywhere. But the whole purpose of the commercial was to let you know, hey, this is a career choice. You can make a full-time career and make great pay and get great benefits from a fast food joint. See, back in the day when I was, I started my first job, my first real job was working at age 15 and a half at McDonald's. And I worked there for 2.5 years. You say, Zach, you worked at McDonald's for 2.5 years? It was an entry-level job that I started at age 15 and a half. At the time, I had to get a work permit to start that early. Age 15, I'm working at McDonald's, but it was never a consideration that I would work there the rest of my life. I wouldn't make it a career. It's an entry-level job, or at least it used to be. But see, today, people don't want to excel. They don't want to do what it takes to advance to something that's an actual career. They're fine with working at a fast food joint for their entire lives, and they expect that fast food employer or other retail employer to provide them a living career type wage for the rest of their life. There used to be a point in time when you had entry level jobs. When I was in the military, I served one enlistment as an infantry soldier, and half of that enlistment they put me as a driver for a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, IFV. Okay, that was a drive. I loved being a driver. After about 1.5 years of being a driver, I didn't want to leave the spot. I loved it. I knew that Bradley inside and out. I knew how to service that engine. I knew how to take care of those batteries. I knew how to take care of that track. If I started up that track and something was off, I knew it, and I immediately got to work on fixing it. I knew that track. It was my home. And if you've ever been in a Bradley, you know that the crew lives in those things, or they can. And that was my home whenever I was out in the field. I knew that Bradley. But one day, my staff sergeant for my squad leader sat me down and said, Zach, here's the deal. You need to be a gunner. We're going to put you in a gunner seat coming up soon. And I was like, oh man, I really like being a driver. But he's like, Zach, that's an entry-level job. You need to advance. I know you like being a driver, and you're a good driver, but you need to be a gunner. We're going to put you up in the gunner seat. And that was pretty exciting. I like the idea of being a gunner. Actually, they ended up putting me as a dismount. I ended up being a saw gunner for the rest of my time in the infantry. Anyway, all that to say, it's like you can't stay at the entry-level position forever. You need to move up. You've got this mastered. Okay, great. What is an entry-level job supposed to be like? A Whataburger? A McDonald's? A Walmart? Can you show up to work on time, and can you show up sober? Fantastic. You've held the job for a certain amount of time. Now it's trying to go get a new job, something that requires a little bit of education, a little bit of time that you've taken to better yourself so that you can make more money as a career. No one expected. If you're expecting to stay at Whataburger for your entire life, this is what you call an indicator. This economy is done. It's finished. It's kaput. If people are expecting a living wage for doing little work, something that doesn't take a lot of brain power, it doesn't take a lot of brain power to punch in keys on a register. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to put fries in a fry thing. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to flip burgers. If you want a career and a living wage for doing that's an indicator that this economy is done. That's an indicator that collapse is imminent. Again, why I promote Genesis Gold Group. Get your money out of every paper-denominated asset that you possibly can. Yes, you need money in the bank to work and live and get by. I get it. But goodness gracious, if you want to safeguard your wealth from what is coming, that's why I'm promoting them. All throughout history, when times get tough, yes, it's good to have beans, bullets, and Band-Aids stocked up. I'm all about that. But if you have real wealth and you want to get that and you want to safeguard that through what is coming, Whataburger. It's a career choice now. I want my big dual cab or extended cab pickup truck. and in my career, the world's just gone crazy. The world's just gone crazy. Okay, anyway, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Hey, listen, if you saw that Whataburger commercial, please leave a comment below. If you can find that Whataburger commercial, please leave a comment below and a link to it. I would love to see that commercial again because it's absolutely insane. It's a very clear indicator of where we're heading as America. All right, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. I'm not wearing the Merch Today shirt because it's cold outside. It's cold in my office, and so I put on my Oxen apparel. I like Oxen apparel. I often wear their products. But our Stupid Shit Hurt shirt, link in the description below, our best-selling shirt of all time. If we had more hurt in this world, you'd have a lot less stupid. So many people love this shirt. We sell a ton of these things because it just is, it's right for the time. If you want to stay at Whataburger the rest of your life and you think that's going to pay your bills and you're going to do okay with that, yeah, it ought to hurt. Yeah, check out also Genesis Gold Group at the end of the video. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye! Alexander the Great. Did you know when he died, his body was placed in a coffin made of solid gold? Decades later, Ptolemy X and Cleopatra III stole the coffin and gold artifacts just so they could pay their war debts. Germany, at the time of World War II, stole all of the gold they could get their hands on, and much of it still today has not yet been accounted for. You see, all throughout history, when times get tough, people, either good or bad, seek real wealth. They turn to gold and silver. The central banks and Wall Street cheerleaders would have you believe that gold and silver are just shiny rocks with no real value. But did you know that central banks around the world have for the last year been buying record amounts of gold and silver for stockpiling? Stockpiling for what? What do they know that they're not telling us? Genesis Gold Group is a proud supporter of an American homestead. They help people get out of locked-in 401ks and IRAs into something that's real, physical gold and silver. If you're going to be locked into something, it might be a good idea to talk to Genesis Gold Group about being locked into something physically vaulted instead of just a piece of paper that at the end of the day is just that, a piece of paper. It's a clear surety that our economy is headed for turbulent waters. The nation is currently over $31 trillion in debt, and Congress keeps spending money and the Fed keeps printing it. That does not bode well for anyone keeping and saving money in savings accounts or paper-denominated assets. Call Genesis Gold Group today, this instant, or visit them online at genesisgoldgroup.com. They can put together a strategy that's right for you. And be sure to say that you heard about them from an American homestead.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.